All right, welcome in, guys. It is the Devil's Eyes Podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Jake Ellenbogen, and joining me is my co-host, Jarrett Bailey, and we are here to talk about something a little bit different, but still very much on the topic of horror. We're talking about my favorite album of all time. I don't know where it is ranked on yours, but it's an amazing record, and it is by the metalcore band Ice Nine Kills. It's called Welcome to Horrorwood. It's their second album in the Silver Scream series. They came out with a album that had all sorts of songs based on Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. But this one's a little different, and I honestly think this one's better. So we're going to get into it. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like wherever you're watching this on, and also be sure to follow the Devil's Eyes Podcast at Devil's Eyes Pod. Jarrett, let's discuss. Let's start from the top. I mean, this album's awesome. But it starts off with an original, with the intro, kind of welcoming us into Horrorwood, which is like their concept of the album. So let's talk a little bit about the original, the first two tracks of the record.
In terms of Welcome to Horrorwood, that's one of the ones I've listened to the most. I think it's just incredibly catchy. I love the intro is really good. It's just kind of Spencer's like setting the scene really of what's to come on the album. And I think that's a really cool concept. But yeah, it's a very good opening. So again, appreciate everybody watching. So come on in. The weather's dreadful, and we'll have a little bit of fun tonight. So yeah, I love the opening. I like the concept of it. I think it was a really cool idea. The fact that Welcome to Horrorwood is literally just welcoming us into the second part of the Horrorwood series. So yeah, very good. Loved it. And it's one of the ones that I've gone back to and listened to the most on the album.
Yeah, and I love the intro opening night. I think they got Bill Moseley actually doing the voiceover, which is pretty cool. He's also in the music video. But yeah, I agree with you. And, the concept of it with Spencer Charnas, the lead singer, being a serial killer, and them linking, all of Ice Nine Kills' brutal tracks and grotesque content. They're linking him to the supposed murder of his 28-year-old fiance. And that's basically the concept of the album. But they don't just make it about that. They really wanted to have attention to detail for every song. And we're going to start off with the first song that it is based on, the horror movie it's based on. It is a 2002 movie by Eli Roth. I finally watched for the first time right before the record came out, Cabin Fever. This thing, I mean, man, it's definitely a horror movie. It is, you're not ready for it. We'll just say that it's just all over the place. The ending is downright hilarious, for many reasons, if you remember the ending. But yeah, this movie is definitely something that, you need to check out for yourself. Do I think it is the most, appealing horror movie ever? Do I think it's the greatest? Does it have the best cast? Absolutely not. But it's fun. It's engaging. It's horrifying. And it's kind of the disgusting, like, anytime we're dealing with like viruses and stuff that grosses me out. So it is, has that. What were your thoughts on this track and the Cabin Fever itself?
I liked it. I think it was a good change of pace type track. It's really fast paced. It's a little more heavy than the rest of the album is. But so yeah, if you're into more of like the heavier side of metal, this is one that you will like. But yeah, really fast paced opening, and it doesn't stop. I think that the vocals on it are really good. Screaming's really good. The chorus is good. It's catchy. Which is going to be a trend throughout the rest of this for anybody who hasn't listened to the entire album. Like, there's not really a bad song on it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that this is a good start. It gets people kind of amped up, like, oh, Jesus, this is fucking sick. So yeah, it's really fast paced, but it's really easy to get into. The chorus is also like somewhat fast paced with the music, but the lyrics itself like give it some breathing room. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it.
No, I agree with you. And, I think looking at this song live, especially since I saw this live, I mean, the whole bang, 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 this, like, it's very up tempo. I think it's more so a straight ahead rock song that has obviously some screaming in it and whatnot. But you know, the thing with Ice Nine Kills, and if you've never listened to them before, I highly recommend you do after this if you haven't already. They are all about finding the hooks, finding things that will suck you in. And I've shown this band to pretty much anyone I talk to, pretty much anyone I'm close to. And there's always at least one song. They may not like the band entirely. They may not like metalcore. They may not like rock, screaming, what have you. There's always at least one song that piques their interest enough to be like, okay, I see what this band's doing. I respect what they're doing. It's an original thought. They're the only band out there that's making horror movies into albums. And I think, because of that, they deserve all the credit in the world. And finally, this record, which whether you realize it or not, folks that are watching, this was the number one selling record that came out at the time. Fighting alongside Coldplay. I mean, Coldplay's huge, and it was right up there with Coldplay. I don't know where it is now, but it's sold a ton of copies. It's been super popular. There's so many different singles out there. They're playing all different variations of it on Octane, on Sirius. And it just kind of goes to show you, sometimes, people can say that they sold out because the last 3 records have been horror implicated. However, I would beg to differ. I mean, they're doing something that isn't a sellout because no one's doing this. It's original. So I love this song, and I love the little nuances they put in all their songs. The lyrics are always related, right? But on top of it, they have these little things in there, like I don't want to spoil the ending for people that haven't seen Eli Roth's Cabin Fever, but the ending with the truck and all of that, like the honking of the truck, like I love those little things they always throw in there. That to me is what makes an Ice Nine Kills song an Ice Nine Kills song, especially in this Horrorwood era of their music, because I thought their earlier stuff was fantastic, but now we're digging into like they're making songs based on your favorite horror movies, and I just love that concept, and no one else is doing it. So I definitely have to give props to them. I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad maybe we can create some awareness for people that aren't familiar with Ice Nine Kills. But A Rash Decision is a great third track, and it's a great straight ahead rock song with all sorts of metal vibes, and really tells a story that Eli Roth told in 2002. But moving on, you guys will know this one.
Oh.
I would expect everyone to know this one, whether you've seen him or not. Chucky is an icon. Okay, Chucky is an absolute icon. Child's Play came out in 1988. Don Mancini is a legend in the horror community. He has created, I mean, this was an original idea. We're talking about an original band, coming out with horror movies as songs. I mean, Don Mancini created this doll, this 2-foot killing doll, out of thin air. No one had really done anything like this. I know there's all sorts of movies after the fact. I mean, you can look at, the Toys in the Attic or whatever. There's all sorts of those horror films, but they're all based on what Don Mancini created. What were your thoughts on this track? Because first and foremost, my favorite thing is that it's set to the tune, the chorus is, it's set to the tune of I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. That I love. I love that. What are your thoughts?
Man, I mean, first of all, if you haven't seen the music video for this, anybody watching, my God, it is awesome. This is one of the singles they released before the album came out, and it was a nice little, sneak peek of what was to come. But yeah, when this came out, like I had it on repeat for a week and a half, and like anytime the chorus comes on, like it just makes me like want to hop up. Like, dude, it's so damn good. But yeah, like overall, like the music video is great. The chorus is so catchy, man. Like the whole "you won't ever grow up, you won't make it past 6," and then it speeds up to "because this 2-foot tall demonic dog will make you his bitch." Like, God, yes, it's so good. Oh, so yeah, I'm a ginormous fan. This is one of my favorites on the album. The music video kicks ass. It's just overall very well done, and like you said, like the little Easter eggs that they leave in very subliminally, like the one that you just pointed out that it's set to. That I don't want to grow up, I want to be a Toys R Us kid. So, like, dude, that's so good. But yeah, the song itself, awesome. Music video, even more awesome. So go check it out if you haven't yet, because it's worth the watch, definitely worth the listen. But I would definitely watch the music video with it because you'll be entertained. I will say that.
Yeah, well, it has that like demonic child chorus. That's like, and
Yeah.
that one girl, I think you mentioned it, that one girl that just is like laughing, and they
Yeah.
like zoom in on in the in the music video, and you're like,
Yeah.
ugh, it's just so unsettling.
Yeah, there's like a line of kids, but like there's just one that stands out, and she's just like much creepier than the rest of them.
Oh yeah, I can't wait until this band makes a horror film because I think it's really gonna slap it when they do. I
I
mean,
think
if
it'll
you
be great.
look, I mean, they're that's the thing is their video production quality is so impressive that when they do decide to do that, they will be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I really think so. Number 5 is based on, at least everyone knows Norman Bates. I don't know if everyone's seen Psycho. It is an instant classic, the 1960 film by Alfred Hitchcock that, of course, stars, guys like Anthony Perkins, and you have Janet Leigh. So I mean, Janet Leigh is the original Scream Queen. I mean, this is a incredibly important movie to the genre. I just think, to me, this song is just incredible. They made, I mean, a very, very popular, a very well-known score of Psycho with the shower scene. They turned it into a song, and they called it the shower scene. Obviously, there's more to it. They talk, they have different samples of, these voice actors playing these detectives looking for Marion Crane, all of that. And then they have, the mother and Norman Bates, that whole, thing. But man, the shower scene breakdown in this song, whew, it gives you chills. I saw it live, but I didn't have to see it live. On the record, it's just as, I mean, it's so, like, you're not ready for it, and they start the da-da-da, like, it's like,
Ooh,
like, really, like, they I mean, I should have known better because they did Jaws in the last
right.
record, and the infamous Jaws scene or sound or whatever. They did a breakdown with that. They're just, no one's doing what they're doing. But what were your thoughts on this song?
This is my favorite song off the record.
Oh,
I
really?
think, oh, dude, I love it. It is so damn catchy. Like, now it's different from other songs in the respect that it's not very heavy in terms of like, there's not really much screaming. And I think that like, if I know somebody who's not really into metalcore or into screaming, but I want them to like Ice Nine Kills, this is one that I would show them. Because, like, first of all, like the intro is really good. Like the little, I assume it's a triangle they tap right to start, just the little ding, and then
Oh, yeah.
Spencer coming in with the "Come on in, the weather's dreadful," and like it starts getting a little bit heavier, and then the chorus, dude. The chorus is so catchy. I love it. So yeah, it's how do I want to describe it? Like, it certainly has its heavier parts, especially in the breakdown. But it's one of the less heavier songs on the album, but still like just sounds like a really damn good rock song. And like it'll get stuck in your head. When I first heard it, like the day the album came out, I was going through. This is the one that stood out the most to me. I'm sure whenever Spotify Rap 2021 hits, that'll be the number one. Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. It is pleasant to the ears. Yes, it's just good, man. Spencer's voice is. I actually showed the band to one of my closer friends. He's like, it sounds just like a more like metal version of Fall Out Boy, and I was like, yeah, kinda.
It's fun. And it's funny that was said because I keep getting, wow, they sound like a metal version of Panic at the Disco, and I'm like, what is happening here?
Yep.
It's because Spencer's voice is it's untraditional to the genre,
Very
and I
much
think
so.
that it's not muddy, it's very melodic. It has a bright sound,
Yeah.
but it's also very versatile. I mean, he can change it. I mean, he has that kind of like almost like gasping for air thing that he can do.
Yep.
I'm like, what? Like, it's really impressive. He
I
is
so
just,
badly wish that we could like do like 10-second samples of songs, but I know that we would get our asses reamed if we did that.
I'm sure Ice Nine Kills wouldn't even have an issue with it.
It would be Fearless that would.
Yeah, Fearless would make a big deal. Maybe not. I don't know. Track number 6, Funeral Derangements, more so like a speed metal type of song in a sense. This is based on Mary Lambert's 1989 film, adapted from the iconic Stephen King's novel Pet Sematary. And I mean, it's funny because Pet Sematary 2, first off, Stephen King hates Pet Sematary 2. I got to give a shout out because it's so outlandishly odd. I almost like it more than Pet Sematary. Like it's so bizarre. Pet Sematary is not one of my favorite horror films. I do know why people like this.
Right.
I just crack up at the fact the main character hits his head on the coffee table. And it was like not supposed to happen, but he did it. And then they like kept that scene in the movie. And then the whole thing with like Gage, for instance, I think it's really cool. Gage, the little kid that gets killed by the tractor trailer, going in the middle of the road, and then Gage is the one driving the tractor trailer.
His character came full circle in the music video. Yeah, I thought that was, again, I mean, you pointed out already, just the little Easter eggs, the little nuggets they have. It's very clear that they are very ginormous fans of the horror genre. Huge and want fans. To do it justice with every music video that they do and every song they do. And I thought that was one of the coolest things. Spencer was on a podcast not that long ago with a member of Avenged Sevenfold. Why can't I remember?
Johnny Christ.
Yes, yeah, Drinks with Johnny. No, I was just going through YouTube and I saw that, but yeah.
I watched that full thing. It was very good.
It was very good, and yeah, they talked about that and during the podcast, and yeah, there's again another one of these cool nuggets that they have that just shows how dedicated they are to doing the horror genre justice with every song they do, every music video they do. I did really like this song. Again, I'm going to say that for every song in the album, so I might as well stop saying it. There's not a bad song to me on the record.
Yeah.
In terms of, I think that this song and Rash Decision are pretty similar, where it's just very speed metal, very just in your face and loud, and really it's that style of song. I do like I mean, of course, I like the chorus.
The breakdown is
very good. But yeah, no, it's got a catchy chorus and a speed, very speed metal. The chorus is good, kind of slows it down a little bit. I just think the lyricism for the band has always been really good. It's really good in this song. I'll see you on the other side. I'd love to bring you back tonight. And it's motherfucker, I love this song.
Dude, I know. And it's like, it's so catchy, regardless if it's the chorus, the bridge, whatever, it just hooks you in, And it's not just like, I've told you this, I was not really a huge metal fan. They kind of got me into the genre in total. I mean, I just am blown away by their musicianship, which has only gotten better. Patrick Galante is just, you see him live and you're like, that drummer, he's the best drummer they've had.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, they cycled in a few new members for this record that weren't there on the last record. I know that their bassist is now the bassist for Motionless in White from the last record. So that, yeah, there's a few new members on this record. Spencer is still like the only remaining founding member.
Yeah, JD was the last remaining from like the original, and he ended up leaving. They went their separate ways. And he actually, his like JD had a stamp on this band because like Community of the Cursed, you can hear his screams. Like his screams were so obvious it was him. But this is definitely a different band, and I feel like they've ascended. Spencer's gotten better in every way, as a vocalist, screaming wise. And I think he's gotten better as a songwriter as well. And I think they just absolutely upgraded at pretty much every single, I miss JD, but they've upgraded every single,
Yeah, it's clear that they all work really well together and they know what they're doing, which, I mean, that's all you can really ask for in a band. And the product that they've put out, last month is very evident that, yeah, this is definitely working. And, but yeah, this song, man, it's really good. If you're a heavier metal fan, this is one that you'll enjoy. Because like I said, it's very speed metal. The bridges are very in your face, very fast paced, but the chorus kind of brings it down a little bit. I love the echoes behind him too during the chorus. I think that's,
oh yeah.
I think those are really good. Just having like, the backup echoes of everybody else behind him sounds really good. It's a good song.
The double bass pedal is like really, it gets abused at the end of this song.
Yes.
And then there's, of course, the sample from the original film.
Yep.
Dead is Better. And it just works so well because everyone loved that old man. don't forget that is better. Like sometimes that is better. And, they made a whole freaking song wrapped around that. So gotta love that. Track 7 is Rainy Day, based on Paul W.S. Anderson's 2002 film Resident Evil, which is adapted from the 1996 Resident Evil video game. And this is perfect timing because next week we have Welcome to Raccoon City coming out, which I don't know if we're going to do an episode on, but I'm very excited for that movie. I know there's a lot of people that are like, no, it looks trash. I'm very much excited for it. It's based on the first and second, Resident Evil video games, but this song is very cool.
Yes.
This is another one of those, like, I felt like this was a Savage's song from the first Silver Scream, about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I felt like this is a straight ahead, like rock song. But it's also like, it's like sinister. It's like the way he's singing, it's like it sounds kind of Motionless in White.
Yes.
It has that kind of dark, like sinister tone to it. And you kind of feel the danger that people are in, in this world. And I think they did a really nice job paying homage to the kind of, I don't want to call it cyberpunky, but why does Resident Evil make it sound like everything sounds cyberpunk? The soundtrack, the people, talking in the microphone, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just sounds like a Blade Runner type of movie, It's, I don't know.
I love the music video for this too. Again, I don't remember how many music videos they did for the album. They did a decent amount. And they all rule. This one's no exception. This is very much more like just a rock song. This is my second favorite song off the album. I love, dude, you pointed out everything that I like about it. Like, it's got a very rock sound to it, but also very dark. And I like that a lot. And you pointed out the Motionless in White comp. And I like that because, like, one of my favorite Motionless in White songs is Brand New Numb. And I think the chorus for that, and the way that Chris Motionless sounds in that compared to the way Spencer sounds in this is very similar, because they both sound very good. They both sound very clean, but there's that darkness that's like lurking with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. So, oh wow, I never knew how much I needed like an Ice Nine Kills Motionless in White like collab until this very second. But yeah, man, the music video for this rules. The chorus is very catchy. So this is another one that I'd show to somebody where if they're maybe not so much into metal, I think that this is a song that they would still enjoy, because it's not so much, a metal song as much as it is just a really good rock song.
If you don't like screaming, this is probably the song I'm showing you.
Absolutely.
It's very, very minimal. There's like a growl, and it's like an echoed growl. So it's not even like really screaming. I just love that one, the breakdown. There is no access. There
is no X. How's he say? There is no next level. All access denied.
There is no next level. All access denied. Ignorance is past tense. Game over. You die.
You die.
Yeah, I love that. No, this song was awesome live, and I just saw Resident Evil again because I was trying to watch them all before the new one comes out. That's not going to happen. I don't have enough time. Totally skimped on that, but no, I like the actual movie. I know it gets a lot of hate. Because it's not, entirely identical to the source material, but Resident Evil's good film, I mean, the rest of the series, I got to refresh myself on. I haven't really watched them in years, so I can't really speak on that, but I just saw the first one and I'm like, it has like the Doom movie. It has that kind of tacky, like the heavy metal type of, the background music. And it, like I said, it's kind of cyberpunk sounding, but it's a good movie. And, Mila Jovovich is so awesome in that movie. She plays the perfect badass female protagonist, in my opinion. So, I dig it. But track 8 is Hip to Be Scared, which is a play on the Hip to Be Squared title, the song title, by Huey Lewis and the News. I finally didn't call it Louis Hewis and the News. I kept saying that the other day. So Huey Lewis and the News, they weren't super happy the song was in this particular scene in Mary Herron's 2000 film, American Psycho, which is based on Bret Easton Ellis's novel, which, by the way, highly recommend. I have it on Audible right now, so I've been going through that. The movie is my absolute favorite all-time films. I think it's phenomenal. I've seen it so many times I can't even count. I mean, first off, let's just talk about this, okay? So Christian Bale, pretty much any role he's in, he is phenomenal.
Kills
But
it.
this might be his best role. And I think The Dark Knight's one of the best movies ever made. And I think he was way better in this than he was in The Dark Knight. And I thought he was really good in The Dark Knight. But playing Patrick Bateman, a 27-year-old yuppie in, 1980s New York City, Wall Street era. I mean, not everybody realizes the concept of this is to make fun of Wall Street, to make fun of, this society of people that are so close-minded and egotistical, they miss like simple things. They don't even realize that, oh, hey, like my buddy here might be a serial killer. Like they don't even notice. Like he says, he mentions in the movie, he compares something to, oh yeah, remember the time Ed Gein said that? And like, you mean the serial killer? He's like, yeah. Or, like I'm into something in Executions or something.
Yeah.
I remember that, like he has all those different like moments and they just don't pick up on it because they're so self-absorbed. That's the point of the movie. It's supposed to be outlandish and silly, and it's like almost a horror comedy, but it's also really a psychological thriller, and it's just so great. And I think Ice Nine Kills, the song Hip to Be Scared is the first like single that they came out with this album. And I feel like this track embodies what the movie was supposed to be. So I just feel like, especially having that moment, it's a very hooky song.
Yes.
It's, to hell with good intent. Like,
Oh.
it's just like, it brings you in. And then they are like, all right, hey, don't forget where Ice Nine Kills, by the way. We're going to have this happy-go-lucky, like, song that you could, like, this part in the song where you could, like, dance to, which is the Hip to Be Square type of homage. And then, the Hey Paul death scene. But make no mistake, once we get back, past the, Hey Paul, we're going back to Ice Nine Kills heavy, heavy, heavy. And I love this. It's like it's telling a story that you already know, but you can kind of relive that scene. As sadistic as that might sound, we're all horror fans here. I mean, come on. That scene with Jared Leto getting his head split by an axe is one of the most iconic in horror. Regardless if you call this a horror movie or not, it's one of the most iconic scenes, period. And, I thought they did a great job. And Jacoby Shaddix of Papa Roach is one of my like favorite humans. So I was so happy when he, was part of this, but then he actually ends up playing, the Jared Leto, character there, Paul Allen. And I thought it worked. So this song's great. It's one of the best on the record. I think it's number 2 for me, but what were your thoughts on this?
Initially when it came out, we talked about this in a Twitter space or something, and you asked me about it. I had only heard it like once or twice. I was like, that wasn't really my thing. And then over the last few weeks, I think I actually just like saw the music video I suggested on YouTube. I was like, all right, what the hell? I haven't seen it yet. I might as well watch it. I didn't realize how good the song was and how hooky it is, how catchy it is. But yeah, I don't know how I remembered it, but I just remembered it not being good, and I was wrong because it's been stuck in my head for a while now. And but yeah, no, the chorus is very catchy. It's very just gets stuck in your head. Like you said, to hell with good intentions, to hell with where I'll go. I just love that it breaks down with the devil makes exceptions for American psychos. That just warms my heart. It's great. But yeah, the music video is good. I love the breakdown of it just turning into the whole Hip to Be Square thing where everybody in the band starts dancing, and he just walks over. He's like, "You like Ice Nine Kills?" Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, their early stuff is a little too scene for me, but when the silver screen came out, they really came into their own. And then Spencer does that little like dance thing as he walks over to him. Kills me. I loved it. So yeah, I love the fact that it just shows their versatility, that they have the balls to be like, all right, this is going to be heavy for a minute, and then we're just going to throw this in there, and we're going to make it work, and then we're going to go back to being really heavy. So yeah, it's a really catchy song. It's hard. I don't know where I would rank it because one that we haven't talked about yet I love that song too. So this is 3 or 4 for me. It's really good. I love it. So yeah, the music video is very good. Again, go watch their music videos because they're masterpieces in terms of like I feel like every other music video is just about the same, but these guys just absolutely blow it out of the water. So
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the music video is great. The song's great. Again, a lot of homages to the film itself. Love it. And the fact that Jacoby's in it, yes, that makes me happy too. I thought he did the role very well in the music video, and he actually has a brief part in the song when they come out of the whole "Hey Paul" breakdown after. Oh
yeah, he gets his head split.
Yeah, the part after that, whenever it's like jin 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 jin, and like Spencer singing along with it is really good.
Oh, you mean like when his dead body is singing?
Yeah. And then like Spencer says that I don't think I'll get away with it this time. Jacoby's just laying there, like, it was great. I loved it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so,
They did that
great.
ending of the movie so well. His confession scene, they threw it into a part in the song and it just works. So, oh man, great song. Absolutely. Song. This next song, immediately I was like, this is way too heavy for me. And then I started listening to him more and more and more. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm doing growls like to myself. And I'm like, the Hanniger mind. Like, it's like, this song sneaks up on you based on George Mihalka's 1981 film, My Bloody Valentine. This is a, typical 1980 slasher, but it was different because this guy wore a gas mask. He was in these mines and he was running around with an axe instead of just like a regular, machete or, a kitchen knife, whatever. This is not one of my favorite movies by any stretch, but I do appreciate it for its originality. And I thought having Cannibal Corpse's Corpse Grinder worked. It's not I don't listen to Cannibal Corpse. I'm not into that type of music. I'm not that heavy. I know everyone just assumes you'll slice side kills, you'll listen to everything. No, I do not. That some of that stuff is way too heavy for me. But his moment in the song where it's just it sounds, the best way I can put it is it sounds like he's mutilating somebody while he's singing while he's screaming or growling or whatever the hell he's doing. Like it works because it's the brutalizing of My Bloody Valentine and the killer in My Bloody Valentine with his axe and and then the whining that Spencer does. He's got an axe too.
Yeah.
I love that. I really like this track. It's not my favorite on the record, but it was definitely a change of pace. And I think this was a good one for the people that wanted them to be heavier.
Yes.
This was definitely the heaviest song on the record.
Yeah, it's not really a competition. This is by far the heaviest song on the record. Now, again, I don't listen to Cannibal Corpse really either. I will say, though, my junior year of high school, me and my best friend, who I still live with to this day, we were looking through, like, let's see what kind of like heavy stuff we can find. And we found Cannibal Corpse. And there's a song that we listened to, man. Oh, my dear God. It is horrifying. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really listen to them either. It's not my cup of tea. I agree with you. Like, I like the song. It's not one of my favorites on the record. As a matter of fact, it's probably my least favorite. But it's not like if it comes on, I'm skipping it. Like, I still like it enough where I'll keep it on. But it is a little bit heavier than I'm usually into. But yeah, I mean, again, it's a very variety album, and this is the heaviest by far on the album. So I like it. Again, it gives homage to the song very well. It's a brutal movie, and the singer Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse really makes this song sound brutal. So I appreciate that, where they wanted the song to reflect the movie. And it very much did that. I think the song is actually more brutal than the movie because, good Lord. But yeah, I like it. It's probably my least favorite just because, again, I'm not into that extremeness of heavy, but I still like it.
There's two things that I love about this song. The first is that it's called Take Your Pick. I thought that was a perfect, song for the pickaxe. But two, I love that random part where everything is so brutalizing and bloody and sounds so heavy. And then, that one part where it's like this monologue that comes out of nowhere. It's like this super like, pleasant monologue by Spencer. This part where he's singing, and then it goes into the Corpse Grinder, and that's how you know. When I first heard this, I was like, love hurts in my mind, like that part where he's singing that, and then it's like, and you die, and then, like I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Because I saw the feature of Cannibal or Corpse Grinder, and I was just like, oh yeah, okay. I was like, as soon as I hear and you die, I'm like, okay, so this will be the part where, and then it's like, all right, this dude sounds like he's chasing me with the axe. I mean,
Correct.
it's just, that's the best way to put it. But that is track number 9. Number 10, I finally saw this movie this year before the record came out, and I'm glad I did. I actually like it. I think it's underrated. Hellraiser, Clive Barker's 1987 film. It's also based on a book that I already forgot the name of. But it's called The Box because, well, if you've seen Hellraiser, pretty much everything is about this freaking box. To make this about as casual as it can be. Everyone knows Pinhead. No one knows anyone else. If you have not seen Hellraiser, you know who Pinhead is. You just don't know who Frank is, who, by the way, if you've ever seen Hellraiser, Frank is literally the funniest. I think Frank is the funniest thing to ever happen to horror, because I'm just going to call it the way it is. Okay. I was cracking up. I'm not going to lie.
It's a good movie.
This whole idea that this Frank guy, like, his name is just Frank. It's not like, Corpse Grinder or something. Like, his name is Frank. And this woman goes through all these incredible hoops to bring him back to life by killing these people so he will suck in their blood and then get more skin back. I mean, like, I was blown away about, I just didn't know that was going to be the case. Frank is hilarious. This song, though, is awesome, and I'm a little annoyed that they're not playing it live. They didn't play it at my show, and my friend Tyler and I are seeing them next Saturday, and they're not playing it then either. And what's odd is that Spencer, the lead singer, said they put in the all hail parts in this song for that crowd. So why aren't you playing it live? No, this song's really awesome. Has Brandon Sawyer from Atreyu, and I think this is the one song I think was actually co-written. Brandon co-wrote this with Spencer. This song's just awesome, man. It's a rock song that is really predicated on, the angels become demons to some. That part, and they'll use that throughout the song. Heavy singing, absolutely mercifully screaming, like, it works so well. And I really like this song, and somehow it's kind of gotten a little underrated.
I was just about to say, I think this is the most underrated song on the album. I love the hook to it as well. I think it's really good. The All Hail the Priest of Hell, or Master of Sin. Love that. So I was listening to this.
Bow to the Needle and Pins. I love that.
Love that. It's just funny when I listen to it in front of my sisters or something. They know I'm into it and whatnot, but I make an effort to just turn this stuff on whenever they're in the car or whatever. I'm like, all right, you're about to be educated, and they always just give me a look.
It was. Just answer that question. I knew exactly what you're talking about. That weird deformed face guy. But yeah, go on.
So yeah, no, I think it's very good. Again, the chorus is really good. Bow to the Needles and Pins. If you like Hellraiser, then they hit a home run. It's great.
They'll tear your soul apart.
It's such a good balance of Spencer's vocals, the screaming, the bridge is fine. I love it. It's just an all-around good song. And yeah, the fact that they're not playing it live, that would piss me off too, because I feel like the crowd would get really into that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, I think it's the most underrated song on the record. And if I ever do get the chance to see them live, they need to come to Pittsburgh. Those bastards. I'm just kidding. I love you. But yeah, it's one that doesn't get enough attention. Mostly because I think that the singles that were released blew up. The album itself blew up, and I think the more there's ones that are just risen above the rest. This one hasn't, but it's still very good.
No, I agree with you, and this is my buddy Tyler. I think this is his favorite track. And I mean, he also is in love with Pinhead, so that's probably why. I just like that. It really, all these songs tell a story. I think that's really the point, and they represent the source material extremely well, and that's about as simple as I can make that as like my reasoning. Moving on, we have number 11, which isn't really considered a horror movie by some. I would say I'm okay with you calling it a horror film. It is based on David Cronenberg's 1987 film, The.F.L.Y., which was a remake to the 1958 film that you'll probably never watch, and that's okay. It's called F.L.Y., also Fly, if you want to just say that. And this one is starring Gina Davis and the great, legendary and epic Jeff Goldblum. Look, this movie is different. I like the thought behind it. I like why it came to be. I like that, you have, Jeff Goldblum's character being a scientist that's trying to, find teleportation. And of course, as we know, mad scientists, something always goes wrong. And a fly is just kind of, happens to go inside his teleportation pod. So he figures out teleportation and it works, but he turns into the fly. So yeah, this movie, there's some parts that just do not stand the test of time. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's very dated, but it's a good movie and I enjoyed it. This song is really different. It's more of like it has some punk to it. See, this is originally Ice Nine Kills was originally called Ice Nine. And it's based on Cat's Cradle, for those of you who don't know, the novel Cat's Cradle. It's Ice Nine Kills it's based on this substance Ice Nine that would make all the water in your body turn to ice, which would kill you. So that's why they're called that. But with this song, they went back to their old roots when they were called Ice Nine as a ska punk band. And I think you can really hear that, having Buddy Nielsen featured as well. It's a really cool song, though. It's got some synth to it. It has that like computer, you can hear like the technology, so to speak, from like the movie. And I think they did a good job of putting that in there. But it also has some heavy parts, and it's got like this, like, this chorus, it's like actual, like, people are singing in the background type chorus, not like the chorus. So, I thought it was really cool. It may not be my favorite on the record, but this is one of those ones where if like, Starset came out with a song like this, it might be my favorite Starset song. But I think Ice Nine Kills is just so different that it's a really appreciated song, but it's different. And I feel like I have other songs I like more, but this is really cool. I wish they played it live. They're not playing it live.
Yeah, it has a little bit of like a pop punk vibe to it in the chorus almost. Like hearing it, like it reminds me a lot of like a Falling in Reverse song.
Very, very much so. That's a great comparison.
And look, I like Falling in Reverse, so I definitely enjoyed this song. So yeah, I like the whole, it definitely is going back to like their ska band roots, and I like that. So yeah, I think overall it's really good. Again, it's not one of the ones on the album that's getting a ton of attention, but overall it's still really good. The movie, yeah, The Fly's good. Jeff Goldblum makes anything better. Yeah. So, but yeah, I liked the song. I love the chorus, both the physical chorus and the fact that they have a chorus behind them. Sounds very good. And it's catchy. It's easy to sing along to. And again, this is another one of those that like, it does have some heavier parts, but like I would show to somebody and be like, okay, here's one that you might like.
And I think they did a nice job of kind of in the song with the lyrics, kind of showcasing, Jeff Goldblum's character, whose name is totally escaping me right now. His character is kind of like, he comes off as just a nice dude that's just trying to discover, teleportation.
Right.
And then it kind of goes to show you as he kind of mutates into this fly, he kind of starts to play God, and like he gets super strong and he has this like bravado about him. Like he's unmatched and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I think this song indicates like, it's kind of like he turns into this, and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and like it just tells a story. And once again, that's like the common theme of these songs. But here's a song that tells the story, and I don't really like the story. It's, you know, we've already had this conversation. I do not like Hostel. This next song is about Eli Roth's 2005 film Hostel, which is really the birth of torture porn as we know it. And I'm not into that at all. So it's called Worst Vacation. Yes, I got the umlaut in there. Yes, I deserve credit.
I'm surprised you know what the hell that's called. I didn't know what that was called.
The umlaut.
Yeah, that's
it's
great
a German thing, but
that's very good.
But here's the thing. So Worst Vacation or Worst Vacation, I think that's what the point of the umlaut is. It is based on Hostel, which is, you know, these guys that go on this trip to Germany or wherever in Germany, and they get abducted and they get tortured, and they're staying at a hostel, which is like an open. I would never go in one. I don't know about you, but it's like an open hotel for like everybody. Like you have
that
like
sounds terrifying.
It's like a room for a bunch of people, and it's cheaper alternatives when you go out of the country. So like people do this, but there's like this myth, or I don't know how much of a myth it is, but people were getting abducted from hostels, and Hostel, the movie, kind of went with it and made this. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it was I think the people of the country where it's from, I don't know if it's actually in I don't remember where it's from, but the people from the country or whatever, the government officials, they had a serious problem with this movie because it was basically scaring away tourists. Like, it was actually scaring away tourists. People didn't want to travel there because they knew where it was, and even though it was just a movie. And it's kind of crazy how that actually came to be. Like, they were so worried they were going to lose tourism that, like, I think they banned the movie overseas, like where they were. Yeah, it was that bad, but it's super gory, super gruesome. I don't remember this ending well. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's just one of those movies where it's like one of those everything goes to shit movies. Like, if you enjoy watching you know, the Star Wars Episode 3, you already know what's going to happen. It's brutalizing, all of that, and every character you love gets assassinated. Yeah, go ahead, go watch it. But I mean, that it's another one of those everything goes to shit movies. It's The Dark Knight Rises. It's, you know, it's Infinity War. I mean, there's not a happy ending. You know, it's not. There's not going to be a happy ending. That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, it's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the song has amazing attention to detail. They hired this guy, this voice actor, who was doing makeup in California, and they basically described him as a really creepy German man who could he could do like really cool German accents, really horrifying. He, trust me, has a role in this song.
Yes.
He they said he's like the nicest guy, so they got him to do it. And this is a weird, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a different type of feel for an Ice Nine Kills song. It's not as like heavy as Take Your Pick, but it feels more disturbing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like this song a lot. It was actually the first song I listened to off the album. I just hit shuffle, and this is the one that came on. I like the chorus a lot. I like the "Kill 'em all, paint the walls with their flesh and blood." Like, it's so catchy, it's so great. I've seen Hostel maybe once. I don't remember too much from it, so I'd have to like go back and rewatch it to understand any of the little subliminal messages in the actual song. But I am a guy who like is a big fan of the Saw movies, and I don't want to say it sounds
I love
weird.
Saw.
It sounds weird to say. It sounds weird to say I enjoy torture porn, because that would raise some red flags. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I think, you know, understanding the context that it's a movie and they're not actually getting, you know, their arms separated and whatnot. I enjoy those types of things. I think I just enjoy things that make me do this. I don't know. I think that's just maybe what I'm into.
You enjoy pain?
maybe that's what it is. But regardless, no, I like the song a lot. The chorus is really catchy. It does have a good amount of like heavier stuff in it without being too heavy, which is, you know, it's hard to find that balance sometimes, but I think they do it really well here. So yeah, no, it's a good song.
It reminds me of Death March.
Haven't heard Death March.
Death March, I think, is by, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's by Motionless in White.
I mean, I'm a big Motionless in White guy too. That's one that I haven't heard. So I'll
It's
have to
the
go
one.
back.
It's on the same record as Reincarnate.
Okay, Reincarnates. Oh God, it's such a good
That's
song.
my favorite song by them.
So great.
Even though it sounds like Breaking Benjamin.
It does. That's why I think that's part of the reason why I like it,
Yeah.
because
No,
it's
I
it's
hear
just
you.
fantastic. So yeah, no, I like the song a lot. And after this, I think we should start a petition on petition.org to like have Spencer and Chris Motionless just collab, and it would make me
That would
very
be
happy.
cool.
It would be wonderful.
That would be cool. Yeah, this like I said, not my favorite movie. This is probably my least favorite on the record. I love it though. I mean, I love
Really?
every song. Yeah, I love every song on this record. I mean, it's my favorite album of all time. I mean, and I do not say that lightly.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I remember telling you this, before it came out, you heard the little snippets that they gave out on the app. I hadn't yet, and you said, "Dude, you're in. This is going to be an all-timer." I was like, "All right, I like Ice Nine Kills. They're one of my favorite bands. We'll see." But no, you didn't overhype it. You definitely did not. Right now, it's definitely in contention for my favorite album. Like, it's weird though, because my music taste, I've told you this before, has gone like a complete 180 over the past few years. Like, I used to be super, super like Chris Brown was like my everything, and
Chris
that's
Brown's latest hit.
basically, yeah, like I was a big
No,
Chris
Ice Nine
Brown
Kills
guy.
has a song called that.
Are you I need to get into earlier Ice Nine Kills, man, because I need to listen to their older stuff
Chris
more.
Brown's latest hit, and then they're like "Bridges Burn" and "People Die." Like they just have like the funniest song titles.
I started going back to listen to some of their older stuff just because I want to be a more educated fan. That's not one I've heard yet, so I will give that a look.
You should. It's good.
But yeah,
The
no, I
fastest
mean,
way to a girl's heart is through a rib cage.
is that one of the lyrics?
No, that's one of the song titles.
Oh my goodness, this is phenomenal. I need to
Yeah.
really just anyway.
Yeah, they're just I think for everyone that like has tuned in and are listening to this, I think I 100% you need to you listen to this record. Then you need to listen to Silver Scream, the first one, with
Yes.
the more well-known horror films. Like we're talking Halloween, Friday the 13th, Jaws, Saw, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, like it. I mean, there's that's the more recognizable. That is why this is so impressive to me. They
already had like all of the like big franchises in the first one, and then they completely like the lyricism, the songs in this I think are better than the first one. But my goodness, I'm excited. I mean, I assume they're doing a third one. So
I would hope so. We'll talk about that after we finish this. I have song titles for those.
I saw you tweeted it out, and I really like. Did you come up with all those?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Good for you. I might have to try to one up you. I don't know if I can, because the one that you sent me for the latest Conjuring movie was very good. I liked it. It was very good.
I'm pretty excited to unveil it for people that haven't seen it. But let's get into track number 13, which is, as you and I would say, is the catchiest song on the record. This song is just, I love it. It is Ex-Mørtis, based on Sam Raimi's 1981 Evil Dead. And I'd be honest, it's based on Evil Dead 2, and it's based on Army of Darkness. There's all sorts of references to those three movies. Evil Dead's awesome. If you don't like Ash Williams, you just have a problem.
If you don't like Ash Williams, you can go fuck yourself.
He's just, I mean, Bruce Campbell
he's great, man.
He's an OG. Like, he's in all the Spider-Man movies because him and Sam Raimi are like buds. Yep. And like, he's just like, and this is in a nutshell, this is how awesome and badass Bruce Campbell is. He plays like the bouncer at like Mary Jane's, like she's having a play and like Peter Parker can't get in and he plays the bouncer, and he's like the best bouncer you'll ever see played. Like, he's just amazing. He's so cool. And I can't wait to finally see the Ash Williams versus Evil Dead series on HBO. I've been dying to see that, and I'm finally going to get around to seeing it. Or maybe I'm not, and He was
in another show. He was in a show called Burn Notice that my sister used to have an absolute just weird fandom for. I don't know why. She loved that show.
Best, dude.
Yeah, he is very good, and the song is very good.
And I like that they pay homage to him. So they have, the shotgun, and then they have the groovy,
Loved it.
Swallow this,
Yeah.
The whole, I mean, the song it tells, somehow they make this like a jingle. So they make it a freaking jingle, and it's stuck in your head. And, it's so catchy. And on top of it, while they're doing that, it has everything to do with the films. You know, when these 5 poor fools press play, it's like, are you kidding me?
So good.
The Necromonicon or whatever, the Book of the Dead.
Mhm.
And then what I love is like the ghostly sounding, a cold wind blows as the
Yes, dude,
angels
it is
cry.
so
And they're doing
fucking
that
good.
because Evil Dead 2 is like a sing-along. It's like a horror comedy, and they inject like it's like I feel like it's more so an Evil Dead 2 song that has, the 5 poor fools. Like, I mean, that's really
Mhm.
Evil Dead 1. And then it gets an army of like the Army of Darkness, like that's the
Mhm.
third one. Um and I just love, cross the Book of the Dead off your reading list.
Yes.
Ex-Mørtis. Uh, it's
It is by far.
it's
I
just
think it. I think it is the catchiest song on the album. The chorus will get stuck in your head no matter how
it's
much
so
you
good.
try to not get it stuck in your head. Um, so yeah, this is the one. I said it, either Hit to Be Scared or this one was like in contention for like. There's 4 of them on this that I absolutely love, and I could put in any order. Just depends on the day. Shower Scene, Ex-Mørtis, Hit to Be Scared, um, and the shower scene. All of them are just, they rotate for me, and this is definitely one of them. So I like it a lot. The chorus rules, and yeah, man, this is like, in terms of like, it's the perfect song for spooky season. Like if it's like, a cloudy fall day with like the leaves falling and you're driving and you turn on Ex-Mørtis, you just feel like Halloween, man. It pulls. So the chorus is awesome, and you just usher the cold wind blows as the angels cry, living will descend as the dead will rise. And then I really like the from way below. Then they do it 3
from
times.
way below.
Oh, it's so
From
good.
way
Oh,
below.
it's
Na
so
na na
catchy.
na na na. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
dude.
love it. It's
And
so good.
live, it was really good.
I bet it was.
Spencer has the chainsaw, kind of paying homage to Ash, and then
Mhm.
he puts that down and holds up the Book of the Dead. Like, it's really cool. Like, that's another thing I don't know if I made a mention of. If you guys have seen my videos, because I have a bunch of YouTube shorts for the last Ice Nine Kills show I went to, but they have props for every single song.
Their
The
showmanship is out of this world.
the Stabbing in the Dark song, they literally have a moment where one of the girls, or I don't know, one of the people that is on the band or with the band
I thought it
member,
was a prop. It's a real person.
it's a real person, and he's like dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, like
It
for Michael
rules.
Myers. It's really cool. And they have the person dress up as Georgie in the
Mhm.
It Is the End. Speaking of which, going into the last song on the record, which is, in my opinion, the best song that Ice Nine Kills has ever created.
Oh my goodness.
It is called Farewell to Flesh. It's based on Bernard Rose's 1992 film Candyman, starring the great, the legendary Tony Todd, who basically played. I got to throw this out there because I just finished the Scream series, the MTV series on Netflix. It's amazing. Season 3, not so great. Season 3 has Tony Todd playing a guy with a hook. You have to be kidding me. Like he basically played Candyman in Scream, but we're not ready to have that discussion yet.
Mhm.
Anyway, this song, live, not live, doesn't matter. It continues to follow the trend of the last 3 records have potentially the best songs. I thought Every Trick in the Book, which is based on horror novels, Hell in the Hallways, which is based on the book and film Carrie, is phenomenal. I thought in Silver Scream, that the first one, It Is the End, with the whole "We all float down here" chorus, is just untouchable. And
So you think It Is the End is the best song off of Silver Scream 1?
it's tough. I mean, I think it's either that or Stabbing in the Dark, but it's so tough. I mean, that record is so good. But to me, Farewell to Flesh is perfect because it starts off with the piano, really showing you, and I guess the way I look at it is this. Tony Todd's character and Candyman himself was not a bad person. He was not a bad person from the start. You know, a lot of like the racists, you know, the mob, they kill him. You know, they kill him because he had you know, I think he was having a child or an affair or whatever with, you know, this white girl that was part of their, you know, culture, whatever you want to call it. And so they killed him. They chopped off his arm. They, you know, they had the whole bees, you know, with the honey and everything. And they left him to die, you know, under the sun. So Ice Nine Kills does a great job with the piano, because piano never comes off as like necessarily horror. I think it's more sympathetic. I think you're sympathizing for, you know, Candyman, the character, because you realize Candyman wasn't all that bad. His origin story, it's horrible. I mean, he basically gets killed by a lynch mob. That's what happens. I mean, it's not supposed to be a happy-go-lucky. It's supposed to actually you know, show the dangers of racism, you know? And that is what Candyman's based on. And so I think with the whole um you know, the start of the song being piano and being slow and then building up is when he's like, basically, I'm no longer a nice guy. Now I'm Candyman, you know, that you cry out and you cry out, you know, and you can see 5 times to hail a legacy, you know, that whole thing. I just thought they did a great job of putting everything together. It's a very, you know, great story in my opinion. I thought it was a great idea. The Farewell to Flesh. I love the title because that is I mean, it's the worst, you know, movie in the series. I'm not gonna lie, Farewell to the
Mhm.
Flesh. But I like that they used that as the title for the song. Um, I just really, this is the song. You know, Spencer said it's more of like the grunge sounding song. Maybe that's why I like it. You know, it's like it's more of a '90s grunge song, and it's got like their heavy, you know, like Farewell to Flash, you know, like that.
Yeah.
But it's also super melodic, and it brings me back to the roots of why I love this band in general, why I got into them, why when someone, I won't name her, but when she was trying to get me to go to Warp Tour, she said, you know, I said, find me 2 bands and I'll consider going. And I found Ice Nine Kills. I couldn't find another. And I was like, I don't regret going through this, you know, listening to all these bands because I found Ice Nine Kills. And just the thing that really turned me on to Ice Nine Kills was their melodic, you know, hardcore nature. And this song to me embodies that while also telling the story of iconic Candyman just perfectly. You know, the chorus is great. It's super hooky. You know, I mean, left to die under the sun. The Hive never spared anyone. You know, I just, man, this is the best song they've ever come out with. I think this might be my favorite song ever. I absolutely love this song. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's on repeat, even though I love this record. This song probably has 20 more plays than the next one, and that's saying something because it was not a single. It did not get out ahead of everyone else. Did not have that start. But oh man, I'm glad that they're playing this yet again. You know, next Saturday, you know, on their tour. This is going to be like their ending song going into It Is the End, but I think they could end with this and it would make a ton of sense.
You like this song a lot.
I love it. I love it.
I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's songs on this album that I like more than it. But you seem very passionate about this, and I'm happy to see that. I'm glad that you like it so much. But yeah, I don't know. I like the chorus a lot. I like the ending of where he goes, "There's nothing sweet about me." I thought that was really good. But yeah, man, it's like I said, there's songs that I like more on the album, but again, I don't hate any song on this album. It's so good. And I just recently got into Candyman, so I appreciated the whole origin story of it, kind of coming to life through the music. I thought that was really cool. So I mean, overall, like it's probably, I don't even know where I'd rank it on the album. It's probably like my 5th or 6th favorite. Still like it, but I appreciate that you love it so much.
Yeah, you know, it really spoke volumes to me. I just really enjoy it. You know, I cannot wait for the 3rd Silver Screen, which I'm assuming is happening because
I would
I mean,
assume
at
so.
this point, you've already kind of done this whole. We did horror novels, you know, that's great. You did horror movies that weren't that were all before, I believe, the 90s.
Yeah, it was like all like slasher films and whatnot.
So
So
this one was not one of these movies was before 2006.
oh, so do you think that the third one would be like more like modern horror then?
And I think they'll catch up on some of the ones that they missed. I already know that from a Q&A, he already mentioned that they're working on a Silence of the Lambs song. I
That'd be
don't know
cool.
when that will come out. I don't know if that will be a deluxe one. They've already come out with kind of their blood, what was it? Their blood thirsty, or I forget what it's called, but they have like a digital deluxe, and it's just it's cool. It's like orchestral for ex-mørtis, and it's an orchestral version of assault and batteries, but they didn't come out with, like, for instance, and I think this song gets so overlooked. It's the Scream song, Your Number's Up, and I mean it's perfect, man. And that was a last, like when they came out the final cut of Silver Scream, like the first one, that was a year after. So I don't feel like, because then the pandemic happened, they weren't able to play it a ton.
Correct.
I feel like it got super like left behind, overlooked, and I just hope that like the next song they come out with, they don't, that like the same thing doesn't happen. But it's time. Silver Scream 3 prediction, not prediction, but this is my mock-up of what I would call the Silver Scream 3. I put them all in order how I would have them. I have 15 tracks, which is more than this album would have.
Jake put effort into this, and that is very admirable.
So the first song I have is called Trapped Under Ice. I know it gives you Metallica vibes, but here's the thing. If you've ever seen The Thing, yeah, that's where I was going with that. There's a lot of ice in that movie, a lot. And there's this thing, The Thing, trapped under ice. And I think they could make, it would be based on John Carpenter's, I would hope. I mean,
knowing them, I think that's what
the prequel sequel was bad. Not bad, but it was just weird. I don't know. So God, I would hope it would be John Carpenter's The Thing. But anyway, yeah, I think this would be a perfect way to kick off the record. Yeah, you had the opening Welcome to Horrorwood, right? Well, this one, you're just diving right in. You're like, nope, this is The Thing. And I just could see this being a really like heavy song, quick, like, like the speed metal type, like starting off slow and then just all of a sudden, like, boom. Second, I had Wrath of the Butterflies, the song title for Silence of the Lambs, because, well, butterfly connection with, Silence of the Lambs. Jodie Foster is incredible in that movie. I definitely think they need a song about it. I do think it is a little overrated, though. I don't think it is the greatest movie of all time or anything like that. But I'm also the same person. Like, I really do like The Shining. I appreciate it. But I also think The Shining gets a little overrated as well. Number 3 is called Dead Tapes, which I really like the title of. And it is about Sinister. If you guys have ever seen Sinister before,
so good.
They need to make a song about it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Bigul is amazing. Anytime you're associating kids with horror, that's even scarier. I mean, demonic kids are probably the scariest element of horror that no one talks about. So Dead Tapes, 1, I like the title. 2, I think this could be, this wouldn't be like a Savages type song. This would be like, there would be some super punchiness to it. I think it would be a horror song. Number 4 called Panic Hours. Also love that track title. And it is about The Purge. And this could be kind of like, a Rash Decision with that like straight ahead rock with some really catchy choruses and, heavy guitar and things like that. I would like an upbeat song for The Purge. Not talking about the first one. I think this would be based on the whole concept of The Purge. They don't have to base on the first movie. First movie is like an action movie. I mean, it wasn't even, but I think they've gotten more kind of horror leaning since. So I would say that. Number
Hopefully
5,
they get some sort of catchy lyric in there for all the white girls to use it for their Instagram captions when they inevitably dress like Purge characters for Halloween. Like, it could just perfectly mince.
Yeah, right. Maybe an homage to Starbucks.
There we go.
Number 5 is Bursting Out the Chest, and it is Alien. Chest burster scene. Duh. I'm surprised they didn't do it this past record. it sounds like they're not really into sci-fi. So
which I'm fine with.
I'm okay with some of the sci-fi horrors kind of out there, you know?
Yeah.
Alien though, Alien's a horror movie. Aliens is an action movie. That is the difference. Like Alien is a horror movie. Like, Sigourney Weaver is, like she is so badass in that, but it's a very isolated area with the xenomorph alien chasing her. So that's what I would say. I thought like Ripley's character they worked well, but then they made too many, and they brought Ripley back from like they cloned her 2,000 years later. I don't know, man. Stuff is weird. Number 6 is called Gabriel. If you know, that is Malignant. I don't want to spoil anything about Malignant. It just came out this year, and it's a great movie, very underrated, I think, and it's its own original thing that, once again, James Wan creating original ideas. That is number 6 on this mock-up. Number 7 is A Bloody Surprise, Terrifier. I do not like this. This is another torture porn type of, movie. I don't really like this movie, but Spencer loves this movie. I feel like at some point or another, something's got to give. Spencer's going to put this in there. A Bloody Surprise is like basically Art the Clown. This clown is, you've probably seen him before. Dude is absolutely brutalizing. And he'll just chill there. Like there's these girls in the diner and they see him and he's just there in his full getup, just like looking at them and smiling. And it's a bloody surprise because he kills them. Like, it's that simple. Number 8 is called The Cluck, after Hereditary, because I don't know what the hell to call that. I think I would just call it The Cluck because that's what they're saying, that's what that was, the possession or whatever. But I think that would be some pretty good stuff there. That'd be a nice, song. Basing a song off Final Destination seems like a must to me. I don't love the Final Destination series. I think it's rather tacky, but I do find it entertaining, and I think the song would be entertaining. I call it the World's Our Grim Reaper. That's the best title I can think of. I'm sure if someone could think of something better. Prom Night, going back to Jamie Lee Curtis's Prom Night, not the one with Brittany Snow. Which I like and I think is better, but I know that if they were to do Prom Night, it would be the one with Jamie Lee Curtis. Axing in the Night is what I would call it, because if it was the new one or the newer one with Brittany Snow, he didn't use an axe, so that would be a pointless title. Number 11 is Man's Best Friend or Best Enemy. Totally butchered that. Man's Best Enemy, and that is about Cujo. Gotta love Cujo. Cujo is I dig Cujo. I thought that was a really good horror film, but I don't know. Some people don't like it. This one, I think you gave me props for this one. Number 12 is called STFU. I'm not going to say what it means, but it is about A Quiet Place.
I love that one. I thought that was so good.
Why? Like, what else would you call it? That's perfect.
Exactly.
Like, dude, why are you talking? Stop that. A Quiet Place. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's a good movie. The second one's good. The third one has nothing to do with the other two, apparently, so that's sad. But it's definitely a good film. Number 13, A Copycat Killer, Behind the Mask. This is a cult favorite, or rather, it's now getting a cult following. Behind the Mask is the rise of Leslie Vernon. It was on Netflix for a while. It was about someone who hired basically these reporters to follow him around. This guy, Leslie Vernon, to follow him around, and like he'll just like interact with them, and he's totally chill. And he just wants to be as big of a serial killer as Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger. So he goes around with like legit a camera crew and kills these people. And they do not think that it is, they think it's absolutely fake. And then they realize it's not fake. And I think it's just a great idea. It's super low budget. But I think it, like I said, it has like developed a small cult following. It's Behind the Mask, the rise of Leslie Vernon. He's a creepy looking dude, and he carries a sickle. So I like the originality of the weapon. I like the fact that he's got the, I don't love shaky cam, but in this case, it made sense. I thought it worked extremely well. And again, I like originality, and I don't know who else is doing that. Bringing around a camera crew to try to be an aspiring, because in his world, I believe in his world, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and Jason Voorhees were real. Like they weren't just like on TV. So he's aspiring to be as big as they are. I like the thought. That is number 13. Number 14 is Blame Us, and it is about the movie Us, one of the creepiest horror films, and maybe the greatest horror. I think it was the greatest horror score I've ever heard. It may not be like the most recognizable, but it was the most original. I had never heard some of the chords that they put in this score. I was absolutely horrified. I mean, when they started playing that stuff, the sudden stop in like the chorus and then picking it up and like like I just like stop that. That's freaky as hell.
I do love that movie. It's very, very good.
Us is very cool. I'm not gonna lie. I would love a song about Us. Then the last one, if Ice Nine Kills is ever watching this, the Silver Scream 3 song title mock-up number 15, which is the final one, which is the one you like. The Devil Made Us Do It, and it is about The Conjuring, and I don't have a specific movie it would be about. I think it's just the Conjuring series in general.
Yeah, I think that could be more so kind of like what they've done with Evil Dead. I think that they could just have a bunch of different Easter eggs from each one. I think that would be a very cool concept.
I would make a note of it to have, obviously Annabelle would be a part of it. Valak would be a part of it. And the Crooked Man. Can't forget about the Crooked Man, who is actually low-key one of the most horrifying of the entire series. The Crooked Man does not. It just doesn't. It freaks me.
It's just unsettling.
It's so unsettling. That is literally the word. It is unsettling as all hell.
I think unsettling horror is almost scarier than like in your face, like something that like is like in your face, like, hey, scream at me, I'm scary, is less scary than just something that just looks wrong.
Well, you know what's funny is the MTV series, the Scream MVP series, the MTV series. They use a different mask. So the third season actually uses the Ghostface mask. The first and second season uses this Brandon James mask, which actually I hated immediately, and I'm like, "Dog, this shit's stupid." And then as the thing goes on, I'm like, it's super unsettling that it's not actually the Ghostface mask. And made it scarier. I'm not gonna lie. When that thing jumped out at you, and then it actually kind of ruined the Ghostface mask for me because I got so accustomed to the Brandon James mask that the Ghostface mask doesn't scare me. It's like, it just kind of like Scream is awesome, and we'll definitely have an episode about it. We'll probably have to go through all of the series, including the TV series. If you've ever seen those. If not, you'll have to catch up, and then we'll do
there's
a show on it.
So many twists and turns in this freaking series too. It's good though.
You saw the TV series?
No, I meant the just the horror movie franchise.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen the TV series.
I think the TV series might actually be better than the movies. The first two seasons are phenomenal.
I mean, I love the first movie is obviously great. Second one's very good. I didn't like 4. No, I didn't like 3. 4 was better. 4 was
3
good.
Is the worst one, I think.
Yeah, 3's not good. 4 was better.
4 has the best supporting cast.
Yes,
because Hayden Panettiere and
she
Emma Roberts.
Ass. Oh my goodness.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
right.
That movie pissed me off because she is absolutely the best in that movie. And I need to see her more. And I think she gave up acting, which is a whole other depressing thing. But man, this has been a lot of fun. Any final thoughts? Anything? Also, for those of you that are watching, if you have any idea what we should do next, let us know. Drop a comment before we get out of here.
We need ideas.
We need ideas. I think we could go through different because we went through like the Halloween series. I think we could go through different movie series. Like I could go through, like Friday the 13th. I've already seen
my sister said something about do Friday the 13th next because she's a big Friday the 13th person.
I can do that.
So yeah, I mean, I've seen all of them. They get progressively dumber, but
they're really stupid. I mean, when Jason takes off his mask at one, like in the one in Manhattan, and it's just like straight up you.
Yeah. They get progressively dumber, but at the same time, like it's so dumb that I enjoy watching it. And none of the characters in them, you don't like them. They're just blood bags waiting to die, and you just want to see how they die. So I can respect it in that much. I like the movies just because of that. Like they understand what they are, and I can respect that. So yeah, we could definitely do something like that here in the near future, just because they are obviously an iconic franchise of the genre.
I would say we'll definitely have to catch up on Scream. And then I think, we could probably have an interesting episode, kind of debating, between horror and psychological thrillers. So, I mean, we could talk about, American Psycho. We could talk about Joker. We could talk about, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, there's a lot of movies out there that are kind of psychological thriller on the toe of horror. But I think, I saw an interview with Kristen Ritter on, she was on Dead Meat with James A. Janice, who I would love to get on here at some point.
That would be awesome.
That would. Shout out to him, by the way. He was in the Ice Nine Kills.
Yes, he was.
Videos.
Which one was that? He was in a few of them.
All of them. He was in all of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was with Bill Moseley, who was in House of 1,000 Corpses, and that whole series, the Firefly series, and his fiance, Chelsea Rebecca.
Yes, they're getting married soon.
Yeah, I think they're getting married the start of 2022.
Yeah, and he had made some sort of announcement about that somebody else is going to be doing the kill counts while he is
Zoran.
Yeah, Zoran's going to be doing the kill counts while he and Chelsea get married. So good for them.
Yeah, I'm happy for. I mean, they're really cool. That's relationship goals right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. I mean, to be able to have your own horror podcast, with your significant other, and have your own business, and have completely taken it off to the point where it's like you have 5 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
The success is warranted. I mean, they've done a stellar job. But what I was gonna say is that actually, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. That's actually really funny. I was gonna say they did a episode on horror versus psychological thriller, and it's like I definitely could see us doing an episode on that, because there are people that, like, for instance, what makes a horror movie a horror movie? Do guns rule it out? If a protagonist has guns, is that no longer a horror movie?
Yes. Okay,
good, because I think that too. And I think the big thing with Joker, if Joker was running around with a knife and slashing people in like the origin story Joker, that would have been a horror movie. It's not a horror movie for him to shoot people in cold blood, in my opinion.
I can see that, but like even then, like
self-defense shooting, definitely not.
I think Joker in a way is. I look at Joker the same way like I look at Deadpool almost. Where like, yes, it's technically like a Marvel movie, but like it's kind of its own thing.
Yeah,
Joker
the score,
to me
though, makes Joker more of a. It's weird because he left the project, Scorsese. But it is a Scorsese film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, like, mashed together, and with just the Joker skin, so to speak. But I think it works so well, and it's one of my favorite films because, I mean, from beginning to end, I think it's always entertaining, and there's a lot of artsiness to it. I thought they did a really nice job. I'm annoyed that there's not going to be another one. I thought there was going to be, but I don't think there's going to be.
I haven't kept up with it enough to know what's going on with that, but I mean, I liked the movie.
They're introducing a new Joker apparently in the upcoming Batman. I think the after credits.
Oh, okay. I can get behind that just because, like, look, I'm a big Batman nerd. So, as long as if this new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson kills it, and I just want them to get the Joker right if that's what they're doing. I assume, like, knowing how Batman has worked in previous iterations, by no means is the Batman going to be the only. It's not going to be a standalone movie. There's going to be sequels and whatnot to it. If they get the right person to play him and it works, we're not going to get Heath Ledger Joker, but still, if it's good, I don't care. Jared Leto Joker was not my thing. It wasn't a lot of people's things. So
I will say this. If you have been following Eternals at all or saw it at all, the guy that plays Druig is the guy that is rumored to be Joker.
I could get behind that. That would be fine.
I think he works. He's got that look. I mean, it almost seems like they should just have what's his name? Monaghan or whatever. The guy that played Joker in the I mean, they were never calling him Joker, but Jerome or whatever.
Oh, Cameron Monaghan and from
Yeah.
Gotham. Yeah, I would be 100% on board with that. He freaking ruled at that.
Hilltop says, "Ooh, I like this one."
Willem Dafoe, that would rule.
I mean, it's weird because he's already in the DCEU.
I get it.
You know, but I mean, they could just send that straight to the quantum realm, never look at it again, and make Willem Dafoe. I agree with you. I do agree with that.
He's got all of the facial features that he would crush it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's weird picturing it now. It's like, wait, are we sure he wasn't already Joker? Like, and I think it's because the Green Goblin mask, I think, is just kind of ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
And then him, like those scenes where, as he put it in the interviews after like the first Spider-Man with Sam Raimi, he's like, I had to turn into somebody that I literally have never been before.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene where he was like being possessed in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like he said it was one of the most difficult scenes he's had to do.
He crushed it though.
He absolutely crushed it. Willem Dafoe's awesome. He's also an American Psycho. So is Reese Witherspoon, which is just so like.
There's a lot of weird cameos in that movie.
And do you know like Justin Theroux is also in?
Is he?
Yeah, he's the guy that goes in the bathroom with Patrick Bateman to do coke.
Nice.
Like,
did not know that was Justin Theroux.
Yeah, I find it really funny how that movie, out of all the movies that we listed, that movie has like stars galore in the cast. Like Jared Leto also is like perfect as that like total douchebag, like Paul Allen.
Yeah,
you know, the whole Dorsia thing, and oh man, that just I think we could definitely do something like that. I think we'll have plenty of ideas. This was really cool. Really wanted to I
just wanted to fanboy out about Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah. Well, this is really cool, and I really wanted to, do something like this because I just absolutely I absolutely love this record. I love this band, and I just want to, get more attention to them. Obviously, we're not going to get 300,000 people their way, but I mean, it's cool to be able to kind of pay it forward, give it back when we love what they're doing, and to just kind of, spread a little bit of awareness about what they're creating. Because every time I tell somebody that they're creating horror movie music, and like, they're like, wait, you mean based on like actual horror movies? I'm like, yeah. They always stop and like, hold on a sec. I haven't heard that. That's original, and I just think, if people gave this a listen, I almost, hold on a sec. I think I dropped the link in the bio for people that do want to check it out. Yes. So the link is in the bio. If you want to check out the Ice Nine Kills record, it's music.youtube.com link. It is in the bio of this video, the description, not bio. What the hell am I talking about? But yeah, that's it. If you don't have anything else.
No, man, I enjoyed doing this.
Always enjoy it.
It was fun to be able to. I mean, we've talked about Halloween and Ice Nine Kills in the first 3 episodes, so I mean, that's a pretty good start. So
I mean, my guy is over there, and then I got the Ice Nine Kills hat. So the last 3 I've been repping, but no, I'm excited. I mean, regardless if we're talking about Friday the 13th, which is one of my favorite films series or whatever, but like, regardless if we're talking about that, Evil Dead, I mean, I just love horror. I mean, hell, we could literally do a freaking, episode on practical gore versus CGI gore. I mean, like, there's so many different things. That's why I'm excited to do this show with you. But that's going to do it for us. Guys, make sure if you're on Twitter, go follow at Devil's Eyes Pod. Follow at JK Bogan, which is me. Follow 1 second. I'm not gonna follow at J Bailey NFL on Twitter. That is Jarrett. But until next time, guys, you guys take care, and we'll see y'all soon.